news, everyone.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
I see dead people.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?
And knowing is half the battle.
What, the deuce?
Must have the precious.
And I'll form the head!
You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take it away!
What you talking about, woman?
Wow, infotainment.
Welcome to a special Transmissions Extra. Today I'm taking some time to sit with a Transformers fan who I just discovered in the Transformers subreddit. She's a fan of many properties, but mainly Transformers, as well as being a professional model. I'm extremely happy to get the opportunity today to talk with Epyk.
Hello.
Hey. Welcome to Transmissions, Epyk.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, you've done some, you've put some posts up on the Transformers subreddit, and I want to get into those in a second, but first, tell me a little bit about yourself, like, you know, who is Epyk?
Well, she is, I suppose, a caricature of my own self. I started, I don't know, Epyk is me. I am Epyk, and it's just, I guess I don't really know what you want from the question. Like, when you say, who am I? Like,
sure.
I don't know.
So we touched on it just before we started here. This Epyk is your modeling name.
Yeah, but
right?
like everything I do is seriously like me. It's just I make myself be outgoing and all the things that I normally wouldn't do. But it's like I share all of my hobbies. It's like everything I put out there is stuff that I really care about. I wanted to make sure that I incorporated the things I enjoy into my like modeling persona, so to say, because I wanted to not like lose myself and like not be me, because I didn't want to get stuck in like having to pretend to be someone I'm not in my modeling career. So I really wanted to make sure to incorporate like the toys I like and the goofy things I do. Like I've recently added my hula hooping out there and put that out there for people to see some of the dorky stuff I do.
Sure.
So yeah, it's just Epyk to me is me, because it's everything that I love and I just want to be able to share. And it's a way for me to actually reach people, I feel like, by being a model and like having people, it's been just a like exposure way to like get out there and share my stuff, because people are interested in me because of my modeling. So I just want to also bring in fans who enjoy the same thing as me, because I'd like to be able to like talk to people about my different hobbies and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Right on. No, that's awesome. The so you bring in a lot of let's just call it geekiness into your modeling. And I'm assuming, like, from what I've seen from the last little while from looking at your posts and stuff, you've garnered a bit of a fan base of just basically a lot of other geeks and stuff like that. People into the stuff that you're into, just kind of, you know, whether or not they're there for the modeling, they're also really intrigued by, you know, the stuff that you're into. One of the posts was just up recently, was a really nice picture of you, but it also, the first comment or one of the comments was just somebody commenting on just all the Siege figures that you had in the background.
Yes.
And I thought, that's amazing. Yeah. So that was fantastic.
That comment made my day.
I bet. Yeah. and I love that. Like, you know, yes, it's you know, you're there and you're looking great, but the one thing that this guy posted, or I'm assuming it's a guy, is that a massive amount of Siege figures that were in the background of this picture.
Yes.
You know, and really that's just it's really kind of cool. So before we get too much into the modeling, I wanted to touch base on the fandom stuff that you're into. First of all, Transformers. That's what we're here for.
Right.
What got you into Transformers?
It was actually my husband. Most people don't know I am 26 and he is 41, so he is 15 years older than me, and so his childhood is Transformers. That's like a thing, and so I come along And I'm like, oh yeah, Transformers, all those movies, all those Bay films. I didn't know they were called Bay films at the time.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yep. It hurt him that I had no idea that Transformers were a thing before those films. He blew my mind that they're stolen from the 80s. I say stolen, but stolen from the 80s and mangled and twisted into these weird insect-looking robots, you know?
Sure.
But at the time, I'm like, I don't know. I like action films. I lean more towards enjoying more of like the boy things and stuff. So I love the Transformers movies. So then, yeah, it was just like, ooh, Transformers. Those, and he's like, no, stop. So then that's when the courses began. So I got introduced to G1 and what they really looked like, which, I mean, G1 art is cool and stuff, right? But I was like, oh, okay, yeah, 80s cartoons. It's the rectangles and stuff. That's fun. Bulky guys. But it didn't really, I thought it was neat. I really love the concept of Transformers anyways. The idea of like just all of a sudden my car could turn into a robot. That's like, I don't know, just super sweet and stuff. So, it was a weird process of like over the course he liked it and would get like a few masterpiece things which I thought were cool and stuff, and it really wasn't until the trading card game for Transformers came out that all of a sudden I just got the Transformers itch. I received a picture one day on my phone of the Metroplex card deck. And I already love Metroplex because I just thought he was like the sweetest idea, like a whole city being this massive robot and all this stuff, right? So I got this picture and I'm like, you bought this, right? This is purchased? Because this is super exciting. Because the thing is when I was a kid, Pokemon cards were big for me. So I have this weird obsession with liking to collect the card game type stuff or whatever. I never stuck with it. You know, it was just a thing, a phase in my childhood that I like had, and I still have all of my cards and stuff. But it's like I never found another card game that I wanted to get into because Magic, it's been out for so long. Magic the Gathering's been out for so long. It seems like intimidating to get into because it's like, where do you even start, right? But this was a fresh game. It was Transformers, so I knew he for sure would be into it, and I thought it was neat because the Transformers are cool. And then I'm like, cards! I get to collect cards and open like the packages. I just love the rush. And so all of a sudden I'm opening these cards and realizing just how sweet the characters are. And I'm like looking at the artwork on it and finding them super amazing. All of a sudden I'm like, you said there's comics for these? And he's like, yep. I'm like, all right, give me all the comics because now I'm going to read the comics because this is super sweet. And so just that's what did it for me was the trading card game, just the collectability of it, and then really looking at the characters and starting to like figure out the names and caring about all that. And then just reading the comics was super sweet. And then that's what eventually led me to the path of also wanting Transformer tattoos. Because I don't know, it took off and I couldn't get enough of it. And now I've made sure that we've purchased as many Siege figures as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The comics, how far back did you go when you started reading the comics?
So we pulled down all the comics and then wanted to read them in chronological order. So we found lists and got them set up in chronological order. And I was working my way through that. And then I haven't kept up on it. Stuff came up or whatever, and comic reading got set to the side and stuff. But I got pretty far through the chronological storyline. Yeah, I got to the beginning of phase 2 in the chronological order or whatever. But yeah, and the comics, honestly, I also sat down and watched all of the G1. Tubi TV is my friend. And I watched season 1, 2, watched the movie, and then 3 and 4, and then loved the characters in there, right? But then also reading the comics at the same time, it was fun to see how many personalities are like kind of the same, but then like how Grimlock is completely different and BA in the comics, but then in the show he's kind of just the comic relief, you know, at times. It's like, I don't know. The comics also do a huge favor to making me love the characters that much more.
The comics are written really well.
Yeah.
Slight tangent, because you hadn't ever seen the G1 show before. Had you ever seen the 86 movie prior to watching it in chronological order?
Yes. I had seen it. We had sat down once before and watched it. But at the time, it just didn't really ring with me. I thought it was neat, and I thought it was cool, and it was fun to see, like, part of his childhood, because he's sitting there like, oh, I remember this moment, and I'm like, oh, that's fun.
Yes.
So I had seen the movie once before, but the second time, I appreciated it way more and was, like, just loved it. I loved getting to experience it all in order.
See, I'm basically the same age as your husband, so I still tear up with the 86 movie. It's my jam. That's like, I'll watch it once a year. So.
Yeah, and also it made me appreciate way more, like, the oh man, what's the word I'm looking for? Just what they put kids through by killing off all those characters and stuff. It was just like, holy cow. I can't imagine, like, being a kid who's super invested in this, have your favorite bots, and then also you just watch them be killed, and you're like, well, they'll come back, right? This can't be. no, they're gone. Moving on.
That was highly, regarded and found out to be at the end as to be a huge mistake.
Yep.
The G.I. Joe movie was going to be done exactly the same way, and they stopped it. And they were going to kill Duke, and totally rewrote it.
I watched the Toys That Made Us on the Transformers. Yeah, and they talked about how that just was not good.
No.
Yeah.
So there's no question you're into Transformers. Like, you're both feet in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Transformers itself has been a pretty much male-dominated fandom for a long time. The comics, to their credit, have done an awful lot to bring female readers in. There's been some really impressive storylines.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just hitting phase 2, you might not be getting to them yet, but there's some really impressive storylines that you're going to get to. My question more is towards how has been being a woman in Transformers, how's it been for you? Have you experienced any pushback? Has there been any kind of, like, negative aspects, or have you it's just been full on welcoming?
Not at all. No pushback at all. And this like ties into a topic that I usually steer away from, because I have what might be more of a unpopular opinion or isn't just voiced as much. But to me, it makes sense that Transformers is male dominated, because it is more of like a boys thing. It's always been marketed towards boys and everything ever since its inception and stuff. And so to me, I don't I understand why there'd be more boys. And then you get girls like me who certainly love to partake in boy things. Like, I was always about, like, I want to go dirt biking with my brother and play airsoft and do all, like, more boyish things. And so I just think, like, I don't know that it's like we have to, like, try to bring more women into it, because it's just, you like what you like. And so this is robots and cars and whatever, and it leans more towards being a thing guys would like. But certainly there are definitely girls who love this type of thing, and I think it's cool, if there are, like, girl writers and stuff. Like you said, I haven't really gotten to reading any of that yet and whatever, but I certainly have not experienced any pushback in the community. If anything, it's been, like, the most welcoming, kindest community I've been a part of, and I really like it. And I don't even actually know how many people I've interacted with are boys versus girls, and yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just talk to anyone who will chat with me,
Right on. So through your various social medias, you've shown that you are definitely into more than just Transformers. What are the other things that you're kind of into?
Well, obviously, like we said, top of the list is Transformers. And then, funny enough, is when I got into the trading card game, I was doing trades with a few people, and one guy sent me this odd little, like, looked like a soda cup type thing, and it transformed, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And then I reached out to him, I'm like, what did you send me? And he's like, that's a bot. And I'm like, a bot? And now that happens to be one of my biggest collections. I went out, and as soon as I saw those adorable little dudes, I just got massive heart eyes over them, and I'm like, I have to have these now. And so now I have them all, wave 1, 2, and 3, and wave 4 is on its way out and stuff. And it's a fun thing that I actually showed my sister-in-law, and we both now go bot hunting, and she lives out in Oregon, so we have like little Skype hangouts and stuff and chat and unbox them together and do the secret packs, and it's just a fun thing that we do that. So bots is a thing. My anime figures, I know that I don't know how much of a crossover there is with Transformer community anime, but I have some anime figures I love, and especially Attack on Titan, and Nendoroids go along with that. Usually those I get of my anime shows that I really like. But Ghostbusters is something I really like, and Ghostbusters and Star Wars kind of go together for me because it's something I shared with my dad. So like when I saw the Ectotron came out, I'm like, I'm getting that, pre-ordering it right now. And so I got that right away. I was super excited about it. I think it's awesome. And then I got all the Ecto 1 versions too, models of those. And then Voltron, I saw the show on Netflix, and I don't know, I just really loved it. I thought that was great, and I do know that is also an older show. Didn't know that at first, but also learned that. And then the other ones that you see big on my page are like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Master of the Universe. And now those two, those are both mine and my husband's things, and it is a little more in his court because of his childhood and stuff, but they're like on my list of like things that I want to learn more about and get into. And the Master Universe was really fun because we got the Mega Constructs version, so I love building because I got my Brickheads collections as well. So it's like that, I was super excited to get into that, and as building it, I've slowly been learning like all the characters and getting to know the things. And then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles I've always known about and think they're really cool and stuff. And so they're like on my little bucket list of worlds to get more into.
Right on. So when you're, with your things here that you collect, your fandom that you're into doesn't generally stop at just collecting toys. You take pictures of them, and that's cool. A lot of us do that. But you're also a reviewer of things. I used to review stuff. I stopped a number of years ago, and a lot of people asked me to keep doing it. I just didn't have the time for it. But you've started reviewing, and that's really awesome. But your reviews are a little different than the other ones that are out there. First of all, they're on Vimeo. Why are you on Vimeo and not YouTube?
Well, that answer is simple, because YouTube is prudish and do not like boobs. My reviews that I do show my boobs, so they instantly do not qualify for YouTube viewing.
I see. That's yes. You do a series called, what is it, Topless Toys?
Epyk's Topless Toy Reviews is an idea that I created. As you know, I do my modeling and stuff, and I wanted to do something that would combine things I love and also combine my modeling. So I definitely started out as a model first. That was like the main road I was going down. And so then, I just came up with the idea of Epyk's Topless Toys. I don't know if you want me to like go on about this. I just realized that I went over your question.
That's okay. Go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. No. Go. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So it started off with doing my modeling, and then on SG you can upload video. Suicide Girls SG. You can upload
all these fancy acronyms. I can't keep up.
you can upload videos on there, and I just wanted to start something on my own. I saw a lot of other models who had like things that they did that like set them apart. You know, like you have the girls who get into the video game world and video game, or they cosplay and all these things. And it's like, well, I think cosplaying's cool. It's like I don't have like the funds or necessarily the knowledge to feel like I could really do that, right? Video games are fun, but I honestly am more of a watcher than a player. So it's like, that just wouldn't be me. I'm like, I just want, and it took like a few years once I started modeling for me to figure out what is me and what can I bring that I love and enjoy to my fans, and kind of like build up a fandom of people who care about the same thing. And that's when I started getting into brickheads and everything. And I was like, you know what? Let's like just record me building this. And why don't I just be topless doing it? Because it's Suicide Girls. Why they're not going to just want to watch me with like my shirt on. So I'll just do that. So I recorded myself. I just built a Lego brickhead topless and did a cute little thing. And people loved it. They thought it was great. They're like, hot girl building Legos topless? Yes, please. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll keep doing that. So I actually did a handful of videos of just me unbranded. I didn't have like this big fun name figured out yet. It was just a goofy thing I was putting on the site, and did a handful of those. And then TCG came along, and I was like, ooh, I should unbox these because it's super exciting. I'm super excited to like open these cards and get to know the game. I knew nothing about it. My knowledge of Transformers was also very limited, so it's very funny. I'm just opening the cards and reading the names and saying the small little bits that I had retained from stuff, and it was just a lot of fun. And then all of a sudden, that's around the time I think we like got into collecting like all the Siege figures, and like we'd gone to the store and had like seen them out and stuff. Like, these are sweet. So started picking those up, and then I was like, well, why don't I actually do reviews on these? I mean, I don't know how I'm going to find the people who would want to watch a girl naked reviewing a Transformer toys, but there's got to be people out there who want that. So it's a weird cross where I have all the people who've been with me following like my modeling career being like, what's with these toys all of a sudden? And then I've got people who I've picked up along the way, found out I like Transformers and stuff, who are all maybe be like, what's with these boobs? You know, so it's like a weird thing where I'm like trying to find the perfect mix of person who like isn't offended by boobs and likes Transformers and finds the thing amusing. And it was very important to me. I don't do any sort of overtly like sexual content at all. It's just, that's not anything I'm interested in or whatever. So it's like, that's why I'm just there pretending. I might as well have a shirt on. Like, you wouldn't even know. I'm just talking and doing the things and not trying to do anything overly cheeky or whatever. I'm just sitting there showing you my boobs and talking about Transformers or other things too. I am working on, I'd like to like do my other lines that I have and stuff, but obviously my main thing I have is I have all these Siege figures to go through. Mm-hmm. So
well, I did want to, I mean, I sent it to you in a message, but I did want to tell you that, like you do the reviews very well.
Oh, thank you.
You know all the lingo, and you have, you know what to look for. You know what you say. You know how to get your point across. You know how to, you know how to express the transformations. You know how to, show the articulation. You know everything. It's not like somebody there was a person, and I think they still do it. They do a review, and I'm assuming it's a girlfriend or a wife or somebody, but she has very large breasts, and she's showing the toy in front of the camera, and she's doing the review. Yeah. But it's the guy's voice over top of it saying, whatever the hell he wants to say. And I'm saying, I watch this and I say, dude, I know what you're doing. This is not, you're just going for the boob clicks, right? You're actually doing the boob clicks, but you're doing all the work yourself. You have all the, all the stuff. And, I have to give you credit for that. It's not some kind of fake thing that this other guy's doing, right? You've actually done your homework, and you've learned the transformations, and you've learned all the lingo, and I give you big props for that.
Well, thank you. Because when I first started getting into the reviewing or whatever, I got very nervous about it because, like, I mean, at this point I had started watching like reviews of other people and everything, and like kind of picked up on what it is people care about to know about and stuff. And I even did a poll on my Twitter asking people, because I thought, who wants to see you? I watched all these videos and like no one does like the transformation and stuff. And so I watched the videos of people and I was like, well, no one does that, so maybe no one wants to see it or whatever. I'm like, but I'm like topless, so it's kind of in a weird way if I show it, I'm like milking the time that my boobs are on. Yeah. Poor choice of words, maybe. Yeah, pun intended. You know, that they're on screen, but I was like, well, I don't know. I do actually want people to watch these and enjoy them and get stuff out. So I did a poll and I was like, would you want me to just time lapse through transformation, or would you want me to actually show step by step? And I was very surprised. A lot of people just wanted me to show step by step. And I was like, okay. And so now I do that. My videos are like, you know, around a half hour on some of these things, and it's just like, I just don't know if like the time deters people or if people just don't know that these exist, you know, type of thing. So there's that. And then quick side note, the guy you're actually referring to, I know who that is. He's actually someone that I talk to on a daily basis. And he explained to us, because it's funny, because that's actually what got Nick to watch his videos, was the boob clicks worked.
Okay.
But yeah, he was like trying to just involve his girlfriend. I know him. But yeah. No, anyways, as for my reviews, I did take time to see what other reviewers were doing and to figure out what people wanted. And I do make up my goofy own lingo, because sometimes I can't think of things, so I just throw bits on the end of everything. I got shoulder bits and knee bits, and so yeah, I don't know. I just try to make them fun and be myself and not feel too much pressure to like have all this knowledge. I'm just telling you what I know. So
yeah. Well, no, it works. And I mean, as someone who used to do reviews, I did do the transformations myself as well. And your videos do end up longer, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's just the nature of just showing the way the thing works. But that's when I was looking for a review of somebody to help me figure something out. I wanted to see the transformation, because that's where I got stuck. Right?
Yes, these instructions on some of these guys are just terrible. They're terrible. I don't understand. I don't understand how they think these are kids' toys. I know I say that all the time in my videos, but I can't. My videos end up actually before editing are so long, because sometimes I'm just sitting there staring at the instructions like, what even is this piece they're talking about? And the proportions are,
I don't even look at the instructions anymore. There's a couple of these boxes around here that if you look on the back of them, they'll say, oh, this many steps. There was one of them, and I don't remember which one, but it says convertible in like 47 steps. And I'm like, how is this still a kid's toy? At 47 steps, you know, the kid will make it to maybe 10, max 15, and we'll be done with it. Like,
they
finish
don't care.
This for me. You know? You know, I don't, so I'll take for me, I'd like to take the figure. I'd like to try and figure it out myself. You know, if I can't, then out comes the YouTube, and I'll try and find somebody to help me out. Was there anybody that you kind of tended to watch yourself, or just kind of gravitated to as far as reviewers?
I have a handful of reviewers I like to watch. I do watch, Bobby Skullface is someone that I watch. I watch, it's kind of hard because I watch a lot of different channels that do stuff. So there's like, Rodimus, Rodimus Primal. He does stuff, right? And then, Chris McFeely's more history, right? Yeah, he's
done the history. Yeah, his channel's
history.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Yep. And then, Ben's Collectibles is a thing.
He's cool. Yeah, he's doing some good stuff.
Oh yeah, and then I've popped into a few of like Emgo's videos, but I don't.
He's silly.
Yeah, They
likes
just
to have fun. So.
I'll get in there and get past like the intro and stuff, but I don't know. Those don't jive with me as much, but I will watch those because he has some good like points about the stuff, and I do want to hear what he has to say. And then yeah, Retro Nerd is the one guy, and so I'll watch his stuff. But yeah, those are like offhand the main channels I can think of. And like we said, they offer a lot of other content, like Bobby Skullface. I like watching his what is where the four of them sit down. They'll like do sit down Saturdays or Sundays or something. Yeah, and then a few others are like Jobby the Hung, and then Thew. Thew has to be one of my favorites. He's hilarious. So yep, those guys. Those are like my main go-tos, and I really enjoy them. And yeah, so I pulled from a lot of those people to see what they offer and did, and then it's not like I do extensive research before, because I want it to be genuine. I don't want to like be spouting off stats like I'm a robot or whatever and stuff. So I also don't script. I don't script my reviews. I just sit down in front of the camera and it's just off the cuff, whatever odd thing I decide to say is what goes in the video. So
yeah, no, and that's fine. That's good. You don't and you kind of you come across as being a genuine. That's your opinion. So that's important. So with regards to getting like really deep into the fandom, have you ever gone to a convention or anything like that?
This is where I am sad to say I have not. I really would like to. I definitely would like to. Each time I hear, like, I know there's a big one that's going to be in Florida, stuff like that. So I definitely have it on my list one day to do that. I just have to get, I'm a very bad procrastinator, so I need to like get on it and like actually get tickets and like figure out when and mark my calendar and stuff.
Sure.
So it is a thing that I really would love to go and do and like just be a part of it, because I think it would be super sweet to like just go to one of those.
The guys who are doing the one in Orlando do a one in Toronto every year.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, that's I go to that one because I'm only a couple hours away from that one. So that's a really good one. They have a really cool setup at that convention center. Well, it's a hotel, but there's a restaurant right in the middle between where the rooms are and where the actual hall is.
Yeah.
And so basically, whenever you show up at this center, there's always people sitting at the restaurant, and there's always Transformers just sitting on the table, people just messing with them. Any hour of the day, there's always Transformers being played with, and it's incredible.
That's
it really
fun.
is. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
I do like to go and like YouTube and just see if anyone has any videos up of the conventions and stuff, or like read things and stuff. So I do like keep up on like what happens as much as I can. But yeah, one day I definitely would love to go to one.
Right on. All right. So we kind of jumped over where we were going to go with the questions, but that's fine. We'll get back to it here.
Okay.
You being a model and modeling for Suicide Girls, I don't know whether you can tell I'm not a model, but I'm curious to know what's the behind the cameras kind of, how does modeling for an actual model work? How do you do that? How did you get into Suicide Girls? Did you have to be accepted into Suicide Girls? Like, is it is it an organization?
Right.
What's the deal with that?
Yeah, for sure. So my like modeling journey began in like 2015. I have a photographer friend who is a wedding photographer, and at the time he wanted to start offering boudoir for his brides and stuff. So I offered, along with a handful of other girls, to like help his portfolio and model for some boudoir stuff. And I was like, well, are you going to actually offer any nude photography? Because I don't mind doing that. Like, if you want to have a model that will get nude for you. And so that was like my first time ever shooting nude. And we sent out a few pictures to like friends and stuff. And a few of them came back and were like, have you ever thought of doing Suicide Girls or like joining Suicide Girls? And I was like, what, are they crazy? You gotta like, you don't just join Suicide. I had no idea. Like, I had heard of Suicide Girls, all that stuff. I was like, what are they talking about? Just join Suicide Girls. So that like piqued my interest and eventually ended up looking into it. And the process is fairly simple. You can go to the site, and then if you want to be a model, you have to submit a few pictures to like show off like your tattoos or any of your altness. And then, you know, give them your information and submit like a set. And the sets they want are the 40 to 60 pictures, and they've got a handful of requirements and stuff. But you do that, and then once you have a set accepted in their system and they accept you and bring you on in that way, all that makes you a hopeful. So a lot of people don't know this about Suicide Girls, is that joining the website doesn't make you a Suicide Girl. You can have your sets come out and they put their logo on the bottom. So you may see pictures floating out there of girls that have the Suicide Girl logo on their photo, but they may just be hopefuls at that time or whatever. I was on the site. I joined in 2016 is when my first set went live. And hopeful is, so then what happens is when your set it goes into a queue. And generally when you submit a set, it takes 4 months before it'll come out live on the site. That's like the general time you have to wait. So your set comes out, you're super excited, and then people like it or downvote it. And these are stats that you don't get to like see the stats of like downvotes and stuff. You can see the likes and everything. So people like it and they comment. And then Suicide Girls looks at like the engagement on it. They look at how you've interacted in the community. They've got their own like forum on there with different groups and threads, and you chat and all sorts of different communities on there in its own little world and stuff. So they like just kind of look at you. Are you posting in the community? Are you chatting with people? Are you engaged with your audience, your fans and stuff, you know, and take into account how your set was liked. And so eventually when all the stars align, your set will get picked as set of the day. And that's when you turn pink. When you turn pink, that's when you become a Suicide Girl. And then you get to add suicide to the end of your name. And that, for me, took 3 years. I had my set go up in 2006, first set in 2016, and it wasn't till my 8th set that it got bought in April of 2019, and I became Epyk Suicide. And so that's kind of like the whole process you go through. You just keep submitting sets, and you just hope that they'll love it enough one day and buy it, and then you can be a Suicide Girl.
Right on. So then what happens after this? Obviously you've been doing a lot of interaction with, you know, your social medias and that kind of stuff. And generally, from what I understand, anybody who comments, you respond, which is really awesome.
I really, because I want to like chat with people. I really do want to like meet people and chat with them and like reach out. I try to answer all my messages on all my platforms and stuff. And, you know, I just, especially when I'm putting out my more specific hobby things, I'd love to talk to people about Transformers or Legos or He-Man, Ninja Turtles, all those things, you know? So that's why I try to engage and like let people know I'm a real person. I'm not like just trying to put up pictures and then ignore you all, you know, and stuff, because my fans are what have got me to where I am, you know? So I care a lot about talking to them and everything. So when you turn pink, you now have the official Suicide Girl status and stuff, but it's kind of a thing where Suicide Girls is more like a like starting off point. So it's helpful now. I have like a badge, so to say, like where I can say I'm a Suicide Girl, and it like kind of adds more of like officialness to it all and stuff. But from there, it's up to you to like make something out of it, really. So I could have turned pink and then just not done anything and not really like gone anywhere, and then that would be that. But I wanted to take my modeling career and what I enjoy, and I wanted to make something out of it. So I have the title of Suicide Girl to like kind of help add credibility to my modeling and what I do and stuff. And then I use that to help me with promoting, you know, my topless toys and things like that. So it's kind of just a way to like get you out there and be known, I suppose.
Okay. But do you have to maintain? Like, how do you obviously do so much work as a quote unquote hopeful, right? But once you make it to that level, is there a certain amount of maintenance that you have to continue to perform, or will they kind of kick you off?
Nope.
Okay. So once you've become a made model, you're there.
Yeah, so that's the thing is, I know that's a bit of, like, I don't know if tension's the right word, but stuff that kind of grinds girls' gears is that you'll have people who turn pink, but then nothing, you know.
They just shut down.
Yeah, and it, you know, kind of sucks because there are plenty of girls on that site who I feel like are very deserving of Suicide Girl status, who've been on there for 7+ years, you know, just trying, engaging, reaching out, doing the things, going to shoot fests and stuff like that to be a part of the community and get to know people and network and stuff. And, you know, that's why, to me, it was a huge deal. I mean, 3 years isn't very long to wait compared to what some other girls have waited, you know, but it's like the happiest day, and I just didn't want to go waste. I wanted to, like, do something with it. So, yeah.
Right on. No, that's cool. I mean, a lot of people, myself included, would see pictures online or whatnot of suicide girls or whatnot, and you'd think, okay, cool, it's another picture of a model, and it's, you know, and whatnot, and you'd see, and you don't know the work that goes into actually becoming one, right? So it's really cool to know that information.
Yeah.
The one part that you mentioned is the, you know, suicide girls, and you have a lot of them have tattoos. I'm assuming all of them, to become a suicide girl, have to have tattoos of some sort, right?
You would be surprised. This also is another thing that you have people who don't love this, but there's actually girls I know of who are on Suicide Girls that don't have tattoos, you know, or whatever and stuff. But that's kind of a topic I don't really talk on or whatever. Sure. But yeah, it's the idea behind Suicide Girls. The reason it's called Suicide Girls is because we're committing social suicide. We're standing out from the crowd and being abnormal, pretty much. So generally, the idea is you got the crazy colored hair, the tattoos, the piercings, just the things that, like, socially aren't normal, whatever. Right. So that is the expected appearance and everything of the models.
Right. So you yourself have a number of tattoos. Now, you touched on it earlier. You have a Transformers one that you're working on.
Yes. Getting it colored in March. I can't wait.
Right on. So other than the Transformers one, which I think I can probably guess the meaning behind it, is you're kind of into Transformers.
Only a little.
Do you have any others that are of special meaning to you? Or what other? I'm assuming all of them have some kind of special meaning, but what are any others that are really kind of like have a meaning to you that you could share?
Yeah, so I have the one that's like right above my left elbow. It's actually a peacock, and that I got for my grandma and grandpa who passed away. They used to raise peacocks, and it was always a fun thing to go to their place and see the peacocks and yell at them and stuff like that. The other ones that I have with more meaning is, like, I have the wings on my wrists, and then the words are regret nothing, just to always remind myself to do things that put me out of my comfort zone, like this. Do things, you know, and, like, just don't have a bunch of regrets that I look back on and I'm just like, why didn't I just do that? You know, because I have a very bad habit of doing that, where I feel like self-conscious or I don't want to look dumb, you know, or whatever. So I'm like, I'll just pass. I'll just, you know, not do that. But I got this so that I would just not do that and remind myself to get out there.
Right on.
And then gotta look around. I I have, well, this one on my arm is just a Pride and Prejudice piece. It says, "You've bewitched me body and soul." I've read the book, and that quote is actually from the movie, but I don't care because I love the movie as much as I love the book, and that's what that is. And then one of my last special tattoos, I have a few others, but another one with like meaning behind it. I have, a lot of people ask, I have Australia with words, letters in it, and everyone's like, what the heck is that? So my maid of honor, I met her through Suicide Girls. We chatted for 2 years, nonstop, pretty much every day. And then I asked her to be my maid of honor, and she flew in to come to my wedding, be a part of it. And so when she was here, you can't help it. And you got someone with such a crazier accent than yours, you just find yourselves parroting each other. She would say something, and I'd repeat it back to her, and back and forth, back and forth. But for the most part, we could mimic each other's accent, but the one word we could not say was no. I could not say no how she says it. She could not say no how I say it. So to commemorate her visit and trip, she got a Michigan outline and how Michiganders say no, and I got the Australian outline and how the Australians say no, how they pronounce it, stuff. So that's the meaning behind that.
That's awesome. Those are fun. So what would I'll just kind of wrap things up here now,
okay.
and we'll close it up. But what we like to do at the end of each interview is we like to run through some rapid fire questions.
Oh boy,
these are fun questions, and if you did listen to an interview show, you will know what I'm about to ask you. So we just have they're yes or no questions, or not really yes or no, but they're binary, A or B questions. And you just kind of, let us know how you feel, and this will kind of tell us a little bit more about you and who you are. So okay. As if we haven't figured out a lot about you so far. So Epyk.
Yes.
Autobot or Decepticon?
Ooh, Decepticon.
All right. Who's your favorite Decepticon?
Soundwave.
Live action Transformers movie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or Bumblebee?
Ooh. Bumblebee.
That's the right answer.
It's because it's the only one where they actually look like they're supposed to.
Right. So the comics, More Than Meets the Eye or Lost Light, Robots in Disguise, which turned into Optimus Prime, Till All Are One, or Transformers, the new one, 2019.
Oh.
These are the IDW comics.
Yeah. I recognize Lost Light, but I don't think I've got there yet. Oh, this is not a question for me.
Lost Light, you probably haven't gotten there yet.
Right. I recognize the name of it, though, but no, I don't think. Oh. What were the other ones?
Well, let's go. You would know More Than Meets the Eye,
okay,
or Robots in Disguise. Those are probably the two that you're reading.
Probably More Than Meets the Eye.
That's the space one.
Yep.
All right. Third-party toys, yes or no?
Yes.
All right. Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Chicken or steak?
Ooh, steak.
All right. Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Burger King or McDonald's?
Ooh. Depends what I'm ordering. Burger King.
All right. History or science?
Science.
All right. Xbox, PlayStation, or Switch?
PlayStation.
PC or Mac?
Oh, PC all day. Macs, get out.
I love it. I can't stand Macs myself. iPhone or Android?
Android. You can do everything on Android. So much customization.
What phone app can you not live without?
This is a goofy one, but probably the Chrome browser. I do all of my modeling stuff. It's like almost all the things in there are through that. It would be a nightmare if I did not have that on my phone.
Well, you're probably the only person to pick
I know.
Default browser with the phone.
I just was thinking about all the apps I use, and honestly, I mean, all the others, it's just, yeah, that is a big one. It's got all... Save tabs are a big thing for me, okay? It's... oh, man.
Marvel
I don't care.
or DC?
Marvel.
What's your favorite Marvel character?
Ooh. Oh, wait, is he Marvel? Yeah. I know I'm embarrassing. Oh, no, he's not. That's funny, though. The character I think of isn't actually. Okay. The thing is...
Don't say bad.
No. I'm not that terrible. Oh, God, no, I can't think of his... Huh? I know, it's rapid fire. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at this. Oh, we'll just go with Star-Lord.
Star-Lord? Okay. Fun fact, Optimus Prime, all the Transformers started out as Marvel characters.
Oh, well, that's why that question's there on this rapid
There
fire.
you go. Stallone or Schwarzenegger?
Stallone.
Pixar or DreamWorks?
Pixar.
Do you have a guilty pleasure movie that you'll always watch whenever it's on TV?
Oh, no.
All right. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Simpsons, Family Guy, or Rick and Morty?
None. Is that it? Is that allowed?
It's allowed.
It's funny because
I'm entirely disappointed in you now.
I grew up very religious, actually. So I was never allowed to watch The Simpsons. I was never allowed to watch Family Guy. And Rick and Morty I've never seen. I know that's like a more modern thing or whatever. But I don't... Now that I'm like on my own and actually like could watch those things, it's just not what I've put my time into. So I couldn't confidently tell you which one I would like in the end because I grew up under a rock.
The right answer is Family Guy.
The right answer I've been told is Family Guy, though.
All right. Give Rick and Morty a try. It's newer. There's only like 4 seasons.
Oh, okay.
So,
I know people lose their minds over it. So
they do. It's very smart.
Yeah.
So by saying you like it, by extension, you're telling someone you're smart. So, there you go.
Well, then my answer is Rick and Morty.
It's a humble brag. Walking Dead or Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones, except for the last season.
All right. NFL, MLB.
NFL.
NHL. All right.
We don't need to waste time with all the other ones. It's NFL is my jam. All of it.
Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, or Volkswagen Beetle?
Lamborghini.
All right. And this one, I'll give it to you. Sure, what the hell? Blonde, brunette, or redhead?
Ooh, I would go for a redhead.
All right. Very cool. That generally ends up being the what color is my wife's hair today question. But what the hell? It's the last question. Well done.
No, for sure.
You made it through the gauntlet there. Yeah.
Yay. I'm sorry I didn't rapid fire answer all those back.
That's fine. Usually we have some guests who each question is a discussion topic. So that's... Yes. So that wasn't too bad. That was fun, eh?
Yeah, no, I had to keep reminding myself that this is just a laid back discussion type thing and it's recorded, and if I stumble over it and stuff, it's fine. Because usually I've only ever done, one live stream? Yeah, one live stream in my life for when my set went live on Suicide Girls for set of the day, and I was just so nervous beforehand. And then what really helped is 10 minutes before, all of the, we had, OBS set up, because we had a few different cameras, and it was going to be really neat. 10 minutes before, all the crap just stopped working, and I was like, this is not what I need. This is not what I need right now. I've never done a live stream in my life, and I was so nervous. But this, I was like, I'm just chatting with a dude. Just chilling.
All right. I once again want to thank Epyk for joining us tonight here on the show. And before I go, I want to remind everybody to check out all of her social medias and whatnot. And you can find her Twitter at Epyk, that's spelled EPYK _suicide on Twitter. And remember, we talked about those reviews that she does up on Vimeo, and that's at vimeo.com/Epyk. And that's once again spelled EPYK. So we'll have the rest of her social medias and whatnot in the show notes for the show. That's her Instagram and her YouTube channel and all that other good stuff. So take a look at that if you want to find her in all those other spots. But check out those things here if you're looking. All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.